Beth. Oh, we're
Hello.
live. Sorry, we're live.
I was like, I need to blow my nose. My allergies are going crazy. Let me mute for a moment. Mute.
Here, we'll take you off the screen.
All right. Sorry about that, but
No, sorry.
allergy season.
Yep.
Allergy
Oh, I
season.
know. Yep.
And they're all done. And they're all done. The race
Yep.
is all done.
They're all done. Yep. Hi, folks. Hi, folks who are joining us. Yeah, the racing's been over for 15 minutes. The
Really?
awards are almost over. What are you gonna do? It's the way it goes. So we'll do a half hour or so here, and here comes Jessica, maybe, or it is Jessica. Hey, Jessica. It's over.
I know. And it was good.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Yep.
That was a really good one. Yeah.
I thought Damie would ride away on that last mountain.
Yeah.
I was really surprised she just didn't just ride away from everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably because of the wet conditions and
That
being
could be. Yeah.
afraid to fall and lose all chances of winning the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's an excellent point because Cecily Uttrup Ludwig, she fell, and she has she has visions of being on the podium, but she fell and it looked pretty like she went down hard. So that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, so it's probably something like that.
Yeah, caution is better, so you finish the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the wet conditions. Falling is bad, no matter what.
Yep. Yeah. And crazy. I mean, yesterday it was so hot, and now they're riding in the rain, and you're like, yeah.
Well, they were just complaining. They showed Damie putting on a vest, an insulated vest. They said it was so cold that what a shock to the system from one day to the next.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Boy, Puck Peters, she's had herself a day.
Yeah. Puck is brilliant. Yeah.
She's just collecting awards all over the place. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And she's so surprised because in the interview with the Dutch television, she said, I was a bit in doubt because I've never been here before. I didn't know where the finish was. It's just so sweet.
Yes.
Yeah, that was just good because it is a famous finish from Lies Bastognage Lies. No, Bastognage Lies Bastognage. And she's never been there because she's so young and not racing for very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just brilliant.
How old are these young ladies? 20s?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All in their 20s.
Yeah. Some of them are younger. And then we have people who've been doing it for a long time and who are older.
Yeah, I think Marianne Vos is probably the oldest. Would you guess?
Yeah,
She's
probably.
definitely in her 30s. Yeah. She's been around a long time. But most of these are 20s, and a lot of them are in their early 20s.
Yeah.
Kids, Beth. Kids.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, Jessica, is Puck legitimate? Hi, folks who have joined us. Racing's over. Like we said the other day, we're just gonna we'll do a show anyway and talk about whatever, and for a half hour, 45 minutes, we'll see how it goes. But racing's over. Good race though today.
Yeah.
So is Puck a legitimate name or a nickname? I mean, legitimate isn't the right word, but
yeah. Puck is a normal Dutch name. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's a Dutch thing. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Now I had a puck in my uh, college years. Yeah,
Uh
she was
huh.
called Puck.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I follow. There's a woman. She used to be a pro rider, and she's basically an influencer now. Puck Moonen, and then there's another Puck somewhere in the racing world. And so, I thought the only one I ever knew was Puck Moonen, and I thought, okay, that's a nickname. And then
No,
it shows up again and again, so it's a
yeah,
legitimate deal. Okay.
yeah, yeah. And it must have been a girl's name for a while because I was born in 1978. The puck I had in college was sort of same birth year. So
Oh,
yeah. No.
yeah,
And she wasn't of foreign descent or something. No, Puck was just her name.
Hmm,
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm. Okay.
No. Yeah,
interesting.
and of course we use the name for sports equipment as well, and it's
Right.
written exactly the same. So yeah,
Right. Yeah. It's just different.
I have no idea where it comes from. Let's have a look, because that is very interesting. Uh, does it say? Uh, Oh yeah. Oh, that is interesting. Of course, we have for small children. We sometimes call them puck, but it's puck without the C, or we call them
Hmm.
ukkepuck, and it's sort of yeah, it's a sweet way of saying small child. Ah, and where does then the girl's name? Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
That is very interesting. Where does
Hmm.
it come from? Yeah, they say that it is originally from England.
Okay.
Yeah, and it means dwarf.
Say
Okay,
again.
as in it means dwarf, as in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Oh.
That's
Ah.
interesting. Ah,
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
the
All right.
things you learn. Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah, the things you learned. Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
There we go.
Ah.
Well, I
And they
they.
had a geology lesson again today for the stage. And
Oh.
that was very interesting as well because they are riding through the south of the Netherlands, and there you have that chalk stone or the chalk um, in or sort of underneath the surface, and it's called mergel, and it's what they actually mine, and you can make all sorts of things of it. You can just use it as a building material, but it was used in cement as well. And they were saying that it is a remnant, or they can see the meteor that hit Earth, and then the dinosaurs went extinct, and they can
Uh huh.
actually see that as a very dark line in the chalk, and it was
Really?
very interesting. Yeah, it was
Huh.
really
Very
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh,
Paula, welcome. The race is over a half hour ago.
yeah,
Puck Peters won it in a sprint,
yeah.
like a photo finish sprint over Damie. Yeah,
Uh,
with Cassia
Oh,
in
they're
third.
showing it again. They're showing it again right now as you speak.
Yep,
Oh
Ah,
my word. That is a photo finish.
yep.
oh, it's not the German channel, Paula. I'm watching the Dutch one because it's not being broadcast in Germany, I think.
That is so neat. That was a great finish. That was a
Yep.
great finish there. Very
Yeah.
exciting. Very exciting.
I think Damie was counting on winning this one easy. didn't work out.
No. No. Oh, and it's nice that it's so many different riders of different um, teams that are
Yep.
winning. It makes it really interesting.
Yep.
So,
Mhm. Yeah.
so how
Stitch.
is your
Talking.
piece, Beth?
Oh, the Dawn to Dusk.
Yes.
Okay, so I pulled last night. I thought, well, I have a little time. I have a little brain space. So I worked some of the border. Let's see, start with this top corner
Oh,
here. I worked it in a gray. I can't remember which one. I'm sure I've written down. But it looks, see how much it's this. I think it's the same. It might be the same color as I used on this, or a slightly different value, but it's not enough of a contrast. It doesn't look good. So I already
no.
know that's going to come out. So then I thought, well, I'll work at the bottom, this side. So over here, you can see I used a really light shade at the bottom.
Yeah.
And that was 38 something, 38, 32, which I have like half a skein of. So I know I need more of that if I'm going to do that in the bottom.
Yeah.
Then I also pulled out, which I have more of, is 416 on this other side, on the side
like
going
that.
up and down. Yeah.
I like that.
I'm not sure about that one. I
No?
like the lighter one, I think.
Well, and Max in person says he likes the lighter one. He says it looks more like some of these colors up here.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking what I really should do is put in border where I have more stitching. So pull this corner out, because I know that's not going to work.
No.
Put red padding down, and then cover it with the 3826 or
But I
38
also
32.
like the lighter gray of your padding on that corner, to be honest.
Yeah, see, but then I think overall it looks too light. You
But
don't
it
think it looks
makes
too
the
light?
thing pop. It makes sort of the thing sit on top. I quite like it, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. And see, and but it almost reads white, and I don't like it reading white. And
Do you have a shade that is sort of in between those two?
that's
By on top, Jessica, you mean that the medallions come to the forefront?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
can see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. So I have,
That's interesting. Yeah.
I think this is 160. Is it 169? No, I stitched that in 317, and I have 169, which I think might be the color that I padded in, but I can't remember. It's over in that pile. So yeah. So
Yeah,
okay, so
I like the gray better than any of the reds, to be honest.
well, I think I'll retry it again then with the lighter. See if I have something in between those shades. Get out my color card and really look and see what I can find. But I started adding beads, and you can see. Can you see where I added the beads?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a huge
Oh, yeah.
difference. So I said, okay. We were talking about how if we don't start those beads.
No, that's incentive to do the beads right there.
Right,
That's a difference maker. Yep.
Right. And this motif here, this thing is coming out. You barely see it with the red thread.
Oh.
And it's gonna go to the silver that I use everywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. And the color changes where you have beaded already. It makes the red softer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would do that. I was hoping it would really change that.
Yeah.
I used the weight of thread she said to in the brocade. I would have I wish I'd used a lighter. I'd used a 12. I think I used an 8, and I wish I used a 12 pearl cotton and made it less dense,
Yeah, more lacy.
more lacy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would have made a difference in the overall. But by the time I realized, oh, this is really heavy,
No.
it's like, I'm not ripping it out. It was too much. It was
No.
too much. I mean,
And it's
because
beautiful.
doing this brocade is quite the stretch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then around these edges too, I've got a Krynic gray going around, and then there's outline stitch around between the two satin stitches here. So there's a lot, another 2 rows in that silly border.
Okay, but wait, back up then. Is Krynic on the outside of that padded satin one step too far?
I don't know. Where's my pattern?
You know what I mean? Because that satin is going to frame everything so well.
I know. And I think that's what Cindy was talking about changing up the border.
Yeah, she's going with this. Where's my mouse here? She's going with the border that we were talking about yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what she's thinking about. This border here.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I think is a good move, but then I would even argue putting Krynic on the outside of that would be too much.
Yes.
I've been debating that all along. And the question is, so should I just take it all this out? Well, see, it frames it really nice. It goes around these shapes to do the satin stitch.
Yeah.
Just leave that whole, and because it does add, a size to it too. Is the other issue. It's a big piece. It is a huge piece.
But if you get the right color for that padded satin,
boy,
I tell you, I'd be really hesitant to put something on, outside of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. No.
You're right about
very
it
nice.
popping. You're right about it popping with the gray.
Yeah.
Like you can see it. Yeah. Sometimes you need to look at things in photos, and it's really hard for me to photograph that black.
Flip that the other way so we can see from that distance the other corner.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
No.
Yeah. Now once yeah, it's got to come out. So we're back to the grays again. Yep. So I'll have to look and see what I have, at least to experiment with and see, because I bought a bunch of shades.
That's so wild because up close those reds look really good, but they don't. Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't work.
No, and it's like we tried black. Because I thought, I'll frame it in black.
Uh-huh.
No, it disappears. No. It doesn't look good. It's terrible.
Yeah. No, the grays are the better choice.
Oh, and we got to do it. Mm-hmm. And then we have a PSA. Okay, so I was with some friends yesterday morning, and one said, "Oh, I could use some threads for this project." And I said, "Oh, I have a whole bag of threads. I'm not using them. Why don't you have them?" So I thought, let me check them because they're old. They're flower threads, and the price on them, I think, was from what was the name of that store? Anyway, they were 59 cents a piece. So they were expensive in the day.
Yeah.
More expensive than DMC.
Right.
But then I did the pull test. So this is the green.
Oh my.
Oh.
I don't know how they were stored. They are older. I received them from somebody else, and
they're done.
Yeah.
They're done. Yeah. So I've got to trash the whole bag. So use your stash, people. There's your PSA for the day. It's sad. Someone obviously saved these for the right project.
Yeah.
And
it never
and it never got used. And now they either got really hot, maybe. I think at one point things were stored in a shed.
Oh.
Yeah. And they probably just dried out completely.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that snaps easy, doesn't it? I mean, there's no hope for that.
No. And Yeah, there's nothing you can do. And I mean, I'm not going to go through each one, but I'm guessing they're all the same. This one, yeah.
Yeah.
When
A
it
big bag
snaps
of them.
that easy, it's cooked.
Yeah, it's time to go. And
Yeah.
and a friend was someone's mother-in-law had passed and had a bunch of sewing threads, and she went through and did the same thing with the sewing threads. And there was a whole bunch that were still good,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
but that's how you check them, and you just need to. So yeah, there's
Yeah.
just no redeeming.
What a shame.
No. No.
So it just reminds me, though, I've got to do the same thing with my threads. I've got to use them, or
Yes. Yeah.
and that's what we were trying to do, because I was like, yeah, don't buy threads. Let me go through my stash and see what I can send over to you.
Yep.
So
Use the stash.
use
Yeah.
the stash.
Yep.
Use the stash. So
Yep. So, okay, Paula, I apologize, Paula. Yes, the postman did deliver, and I put it out here to be able to show people in the next show, and then get so involved in things that, don't take it personal. It just happens. Paula sent me a nice little thank you note after the men's tour to Broderie, but so she wrote on the back nice things, but look at that.
ooh.
Wasn't that the thing to show during the show?
I think so. Yep.
A little bit of that
Yep.
Braga,
Yep.
Castello Braga. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was pretty
gorgeous.
special. Thank you, Paula. That was really
Very
special.
nice.
Yeah, I meant to show it, and then how things go. Well, you guys don't know what happens on this end, but
I have an idea.
it's
Yeah.
just kind of a tap dance here. So I forget things. So thank you so much, Paula. I mean, that was just really nice to get. Yeah, this is one of those cards that's not going to get thrown away in 3 weeks. It's going to get kept.
No. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that was very nice to get. Yep. All the way from Portugal. Yeah. Yeah.
Fun. Fun.
And we were remarking. I'm not even sure how I could write down her return address. It's yeah. I'm keeping the envelope just because I love the return address. It looks like there's superscripts for the street name, or I'm not quite sure, but anyway, I'm keeping that too, just because I don't see stuff like that. So thanks so much, Paula. That was just fantastic to get that. Castello Branco embroidery.
Branco it was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just really,
That's
really
very nice.
beautiful. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I have two things that people have done and sent to me that are being kept forever, because they have now the card from Paula and then Edna doing the Fiber Talk logo.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
These
Nice.
these will both get some special place here in the room.
Yeah.
Very nice. So I appreciate it. And thanks for reminding me too to share it with everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Just too many things on this end here. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So I was given some thought, Jessica, to back to the bike racing. Your comment yesterday, your use of the phrase "when the race matures,"
Yeah.
and I thought that was really insightful, because I was watching when I was getting ready to ride this morning, I was watching an interview with Demi Vollering. And I think I misspoke at some point. This is the third year now of this form of the
Yeah.
because Annemiek van Vleuten won the first year, and then Demi won the second, and then we're now in the third one. But it was I was thinking about this, and of course, people who don't care about cycling, this will mean nothing. But it's interesting. But I think it's interesting in the women's sports in general. Your comment about mature, because if you think about the Tour de France Femme, we had Annemiek, who was dominant top rider, and then Demi
Yeah.
Vollering comes along, but they're like ships in the night
Yeah.
because they only had really 1 or maybe 2 years where they were both at the top of the heap, and then
Yeah.
Annemiek retires.
Yeah.
So then, and you really need these 2 or 3 top people to make
Yeah.
it sing. Because then I start
Yeah.
looking back at, say, women's tennis. When
Yeah.
did that really come to the forefront? Well, it was Chris Evert and
Billie Jean
Martina
King.
Navratilova.
Yeah.
Martina, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Billie Jean was carrying the thing, but she didn't have anybody. You know,
Yeah,
there's
that's true.
Margaret Goolagong, and there were others, but they were never those standout players. And then Martina and Chris Evert come along, and then
Yeah.
Martina decides that being, and this is going to come out completely wrong, and don't be offended, but Martina decides being feminine needs to take a back seat to being an athlete at the top of
Yeah.
your fitness and the top of your game. And look what
Yeah.
she drove just when she showed up. I remember that year she showed up where she had dropped all that weight and she was nothing but muscle, and she was in charge, and that drove all the women. You could see it happen throughout the entire thing. The women decided, all right, we got to raise the game, not just a little bit, but a whole lot.
Yeah.
But those 2 women going at it year after year, what a difference that made. I mean, it elevated women's tennis
Yeah.
I would suggest in some years above the men in terms of
Yeah.
interest.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's interesting when you said that, you know, when as the race matures, and I started thinking back of these instances where um, we've seen that in other sports, and it's an interesting thing, and I think it happens. It almost has to happen naturally, and it can't happen overnight because people have to raise their game, and that takes time.
Yeah.
So
And you need to have girls who start very early, very professionally. And
yeah,
that is something that takes maybe a decade. And they
right,
said that you see now that we have really good Demi Vollering. And then afterwards, there's almost nobody
nope,
for the general classement that is actually going to come close to her.
no,
And I mean, with the men, you have 2 or 3 people that are really, really good.
yeah,
Then there's a little bit of nothing, and then you have a whole group that's still extremely good, and then
hmm
you have very few who are not so good.
right,
And with the girls, it's you still have a very large group that's okay-ish. I mean, much better than
right,
us, but
Mm-hmm.
not good
yeah,
enough to actually drive things. And they said that in men's racing, there's this rule that when they have a small group that is in front of the peloton, that they can do um, a minute a kilometer, I think it is, when the peloton is really angry and they want to catch them. And in girls riding or in the women's cycling, that's just not the case because there are
yeah,
not enough people who can cycle that fast to go and get you.
right, right,
And that was so interesting. I thought, oh yeah, of course. No, because you would almost need a handful or even more of Demi Vollerings to
right,
catch a Demi Vollering, and you
right.
just don't have that.
No,
And that was
no,
so interesting.
no, and you see that in the women's racing, because
Yeah.
when the peloton in the men's racing decides to catch the breakaway, they catch the
Yeah.
breakaway. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
a steamroller, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you have to have such a lead and be so strong on that day to stay away. Otherwise, they're going to catch you. There's yeah, and with the women, they can't muster the speed
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
keep up. Yeah, it's but that's where that takes time.
Yeah.
Right.
And Damie said, I just think this is so interesting from the perspective of women. You know, they say women and men equal. Well, yes, they should be paid the same and all those things. But then there's also this performance level that takes time. Because one of the things Damie said was when she was growing up, a speed skater, and but she said that there was no way to know about women's professional cycling because it wasn't on TV. You couldn't see it,
Oh,
and so you
Right.
don't have the role model.
no,
Mm-hmm.
no,
Yeah.
no. It
Mm-hmm.
was those little remarks in the newspaper saying that Leontine van Moorsel had won another thing, and that was it. It was sort of, yeah,
Hmm.
not a lot, or maybe on the news they would say when it was a really big race, they would say, yeah, Leontine has won, but nothing, not the coverage it's getting now. Oh no.
Yeah. 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 But it's an interesting thing. And then see, then we have here in the States. Oh, this is class. This is a classy look, isn't it? Isn't this a classy look? Look at me. I'm just, yeah.
Yes.
I'm just top
Very
notch.
good. Very good.
It's the stick.
Nice.
It's the stick from the things, folks. But it looks like I got
Yeah.
a straw for a root beer
Yeah.
float or something. Um, but here in the States, women's basketball has
Mhm.
never been. And then Caitlin Clark and a couple of others come out of college, and now they're having to move games to larger arenas because the ticket demand is so high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know,
Which is nice.
and so that's
That is so
starting.
cool.
It's starting now. The pay is disgusting for the women. I mean, it should be illegal, but uh, but still, it's the women are getting coverage all over the place because
Yeah.
of these young girls. I mean, they're girls. I mean, they're young women, 21, 22 years old, who have come in and are now playing at a different level.
Yeah.
And but that takes time, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah. And there was
yeah,
a lot of talk of women not being able to race equally to the men. And I know that I remember an interview with Leontine van Moorsel where they actually said, well, if you have your period during the tour, then you're in trouble and you can't race. And Leontine said, oh, I like to have my period during the tour or during a race because it raises my pain level. And I thought, excellent. I mean, for me, I'm dead a couple of days a month. I couldn't do it. But she was sort of, that depends on the woman. And that
Yeah.
just saying things like that in public was liberating.
yeah. That's is
Uh,
so interesting because GCN Global Cycling Network is they do videos and they have a team of presenters and they have a couple shows a week on cycling and but they do a bunch of videos. And she just left them. Manon Lloyd was the one woman presenter. She's a world class track cycling racer from Wales. She
yeah,
just left them and showed up on Eurosport, I think it was, interviewing the women, the Tour de France this week. But she did an interview with a lady, and they were talking about the menstrual cycle and the
yeah,
impact it has. And that came out. That very thing came out. That it's not necessarily a terrible time in the month
no,
for you if you're an athlete. And yeah, so
yeah,
that's interesting that someone else has
Mm-hmm.
picked up on that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
that was very powerful that Leontine van Moorsel talked about these things.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, but isn't that it too? You know,
yeah,
the reluctance to talk about, it's just a natural thing. I mean, what, come on. It happens. It's been happening every month forever. I mean, it's not like it's a terrible thing, and
uh,
but nobody wants to talk about it. But then when you have that discussion, and it starts to come out about how it's really not, as an athlete, it's okay. Yeah, I feel it.
and for some it isn't. I mean, I remember that who was it? The speed skater in the Netherlands, Jutta Leerdam. For her, it is a problem,
Uh
and
huh.
she is definitely not going to win a race when it's her time. And I thought, yeah, okay, that explains.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's nice that she's actually saying it, not as an excuse, but just to say, yeah, then I just don't have the punch, and I can completely understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But then if you're talking about it, here, listen to me, like I'm an expert on menstrual cycles, but if you're talking about it in the team, and you know that one of your teammates is gonna have a couple of bad days, and you have a big game, then okay, let's plan around that. Let's. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've never been there, in that
Yeah.
situation, but I just think it's
Yeah.
it's an interesting thing, and it's about time in 2024 that we start to have this kind of whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, you would think we've already done that, and that we're
Yeah.
talking about these sort of topics for years. And I mean, there's things in men's health that we don't discuss enough. And you're just thinking, yeah, uh,
Right.
and just normal things, not sort of the big scary things and talking about it when things are too late, but just sort of the normal things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah,
Right.
yeah. I think it
Well,
would
that was yeah.
prevent a lot of suffering for people.
Right.
And the
Right.
constant nagging feeling, am I normal? Am I abnormal?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you still working on the Sea of Light,
Yeah.
Gary?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep. When I'm not using it as a microphone, whoever suggested that. And now,
the
yeah.
Sea of Light. Oh, wow.
So I'm
Ah,
testing
that's,
this one now, filling in and then wrapping around the other side to see how I like it compared to. Um,
yeah.
but now, see here's one. I mean, these Mickey Mouse little things that go through my mind. So I almost did this. This dark color, and then there's a light color here. Okay, and so I was trying to have clean holes. So I almost did this, and then the next color down, and then weave the dark under because I had long thread. Weave the dark under and do the next one, so I have a clean holes all the way down. But then I decided to stitch this. But now, see, I don't really like filling this in because I don't have clean holes on the top and the bottom. I
Yeah,
don't know that
I
that it,
understand what you mean.
I don't know
Yeah.
that it matters, but I don't like that. So I'm
Yeah.
working it out. I get all
Yeah.
hung up on stitch paths and these little Mickey Mouse things that probably don't mean a lick of difference, but
Yeah.
it's the way I am.
But you're right. I think sometimes it's better if you keep the stitches look better if you work into a clean hole somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what
Or
I'm
if you,
trying to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise you come up in a stitch and you take something up to the top and they just don't lay so flat.
Right. Every time. Yep. Yep.
All right, I want to see your mug. I want to see your mug, Jessica.
Excellent. Outstanding.
Very good. Very good.
It comes from America, and it was sent to me by my pen pal when I was about 15 or 16 years old. I had a pen pal from Miami, and
Oh,
she sent it to me, and it's been with me ever since. Yeah,
that's the
because of
best.
course it is American, so it's much larger than a German or a Dutch cup.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
Yes.
need to be refilled so often.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Getting back to the audience here, we got yes. So this whole menstrual cycle thing, not to be discussed in public, taboo. Yeah. See, and because where was it? Where was it that the women are now allowed to wear? It was Wimbledon, where they're now allowed to wear dark colored shorts.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
there was a concern that at any given moment, and it's Yeah, yeah. What's wrong with
Yeah,
having that discussion, and what's wrong with Wimbledon and they're all white? Spare me that. But um, yeah,
yeah,
we need to have some sensitivity. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Because it's not nice to wear something white when it's your time.
right,
No, no.
right.
The other thing is hotel. Um, what are they called? Hotel. Um. Oh man, not a blanket. Yeah, the blankets are a problem as well. The
Towels.
towels, the white
Oh
towels
yeah.
in
Oh,
hotels.
uh
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, please don't. I'm scared to use them. No,
Right.
yeah, it's things like that. No. And I'm sure people must know.
yeah. Oh, sure, sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's just
no,
come on.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
No.
yeah.
Mm.
Let's see. I think I got caught up. But yeah, so that whole subject was
Yeah,
interesting in the context of women
yeah,
raising the game of sports, and
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it'll be interesting 3 years from now to see the Tour de France Femme.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
bet like you described, when it matures, it's going to be completely
yeah,
different race.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right. And I wonder too, as these female athletes, you compete on whatever day they assign. So you
yeah,
find out, well, okay, so I need to be taking, like, my iron always dropped, especially when I was training for marathons.
Oh.
And, and the only reason I knew is I went in to donate blood, and they would be like, no, you have no
yeah,
iron in here. You
yeah,
go eat, go and take some iron. And
yeah,
because I felt fine, I
Yeah.
didn't feel
yeah,
bad. So, but I wonder, they've got a lot of this down to much more of a science. And if you're on a world class
yeah,
team, they're going to be like, okay, yeah, maybe we need to add a few more supplements. You guys, you ladies need to be upping your
yeah,
spinach intake and your broccoli intake, because that's going to be the best source of
yeah,
iron for you, which is, you know,
yeah, yeah,
fuels this. Let's make sure you're getting your vitamin B's, and again, and then finding that perfect. Like, I know the runners, they get, when they're the elite marathoners, they have their own little bottle of their own special drink they're
Mm-hmm.
drinking on
yeah,
those, and I'm sure it's the same for these ladies. They've
Right.
they've got to have exactly what they need.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, you would hope
yeah,
that gets studied. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, same thing here. Um, just regular. I had trouble in my professional career because I really get sick every month, and it's not fun. And I was especially losing a lot of blood, which makes you tired all the
Mm-hmm.
time. Go
Mm-hmm.
figure.
Mm-hmm.
You're donating quite a lot every month if you're unlucky.
Right.
And before
Right.
you get a doctor that actually says, "Hey, you are at the limit of what happens to women, and yes, it's a problem, and now we are going to fix it," and that they then want to help you because you don't have children. I didn't want them anyway, but they are reluctant to change your hormones past a
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
certain level because it will affect fertility if you're unlucky. For me, that was fine, but finding somebody who actually wants to do that for you and stops constantly telling you, yeah, but maybe at some point the clock will start ticking for you. For goodness sake, people, I need to work.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need to function.
Yeah.
It's my body.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
yeah, and just because people don't talk about these things. I didn't know that there were other women that we could sort of form a pressure group and speak up for ourselves
Right.
and
Right.
get it sorted. And I got sorted out, but relatively late.
Uh-huh.
And that is, yeah, not
It shouldn't be.
necessary.
It shouldn't be. Yeah.
Right.
No,
Right.
no.
I'm sure that's what people signed on for today, is to hear
Oh
about
yeah,
the
sorry guys.
menstrual cycle.
Right. Right. Well.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was bell ringing and windmills yesterday,
Yes.
and
I
Very
yeah,
know.
right.
I
So
know.
today it's something totally new. Well, and here's the other one that we haven't, and just to mention it is menopause.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
not as
Yeah.
studied as other
Okay.
things, and you hit it, and they're like, "Yeah, just suffer through."
Yeah.
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 Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. 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 And our mothers, because they are sort of a generation before us, um, it wasn't much different for them, and it was sort of, yeah, bite your teeth to get, or bite your teeth, and you'll be fine. Just suffer through. And I now realize, because here in Germany the medical care is so good, so I see my gynecologist twice a year, and he constantly reminds me, it's a he, and he constantly reminds me, if there's anything that is not good for you and you don't feel fine, tell me, because we can now do so much.
Uh-huh.
Don't sort
Hmm.
of power through, because you don't have to. You don't have to suffer.
Right.
Whereas my mom is sort of, oh yeah, been there, done that. Come on. Nah. And yeah, you don't
Uh-huh.
have to.
Right,
Nah.
right, right. But,
Well, I forget what the comedian was going through perimenopause or menopause, whatever, and going to bed, and her husband, the joke was her husband rolls over and said, "Is that steam coming off of you?" You know. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes, and
yes.
leave me
Yeah.
alone.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
No. No. Don't cuddle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Move
You might get
away.
burned.
Uh,
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I really love stitching these Avlia pieces.
mm.
I'm going like nobody's
Oh, look
business.
at
I mean,
you.
this
Oh my
goes
word.
so
From yesterday, look
fast.
at you.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's crazy. Nah. And it works really nice.
Yeah.
I like her patterns.
She
Yes.
does
Nah.
she does a good job. Yep.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you were flying on that. Yesterday you just got
Yeah.
started.
Yeah, and I haven't been stitching all day. I mean, I needed to record the lecture and everything, so I've been productive as well today. But it just, yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, yeah, I like her stuff. Uh,
Yeah, she's her designs are very fun to stitch. I just really enjoy them.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, here's Sandy. Sandy, I never had a doctor who would address my problems. And that's, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, and how
Change
many,
doctor.
yeah, I'm not having hot flashes. Can I sleep in a warm room? Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
But and we see that. I see that there's a Facebook group for the western end of St. Louis County that I participate in just to because you learn what's going on. I can't tell you how many times women, I need a general practitioner and I want a woman.
Yeah,
It's not, it's just not optional. And because of that, I don't want some man
yeah,
telling me to tough it out. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Although, strangely enough, I had a female doctor, a female doctor once. She was the worst because she
really.
was old school, and
Oh.
man, you needed to toughen out a lot of things with her. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah. No, I like my current one. He's really, yeah, no. I'm not sure what I'm going to do when he retires.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will
that's
just
always the
plead that he
toughest.
doesn't.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Robin was all the motifs that can become needle minders out of your thing,
Right.
Jessica. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I've gotta. I only pick at my
Gosh,
Avlia piece when I go to my mother-in-law's. It's a nice piece to carry around because it's just two colors of green and away we go. So.
yeah, yeah. Mhm. Oh, we have a massive downpour here.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Yeah, my mountains are gone.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, gosh. Oh, that's brutal. Wow.
All right, Nerdy, I'll get to it in just a second. Let me get this thread anchored.
Yeah. And Jessica, you've got a package coming on in the mail. We'll see that I have a small post office, and it's a newer postal worker. And she's like,
Yeah.
she made a phone call to her boss saying, listen, I don't know. This is what it says. And he said, yep, it should go through. And we're like, okay, so let us
Yes.
know. Let us know if it
Yeah,
made
yeah. Oh,
it.
immediately. Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm looking
I'm
forward to seeing
okay.
the stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
we're afraid it's going to be hung up in customs. That's our great fear. It's like, oh, come on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
make it through
Yeah.
customs.
Yeah. Nah.
Well,
Well,
and
it's the summer holidays, so they are understaffed, and that usually helps.
oh, yay.
Shove it through. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should be on vacation today, and here I am doing
Yeah.
postal. But
Nah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be
yeah,
interesting. Oh, yeah.
yeah. I'll
Nah.
have to see. I have to see.
Let's see. And I think I lost a needle somewhere. I hate that.
Oh, that's always bad. Huh? August, it's just
And I didn't
Oh,
notice
that's
right.
horrible, Susan. Finding new doctors when 3 of them
Uh,
retire.
yeah.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
And that happens a lot anymore, too.
yeah. Nah. Well, Paula, we actually have really good weather in the mornings here in the mountains. And then in the afternoon, it goes bad. We get the thunderstorms. And at the moment, I'll turn my, maybe you can see. See?
Oh,
Oh
That's the
yeah.
view at the moment. Yeah, not good.
well, I can
Nah.
match that view.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, no. Nah.
That's too bad because we know what's behind it. And
Yes, yeah. Nah.
let's see.
But it should be good tomorrow morning again. And since tomorrow is a religious holiday here in Germany and in Austria, it's Ascension, I think.
Oh,
So
okay.
Oh yeah.
everything is closed. We're all having a holiday, and
Of
we'll go
course,
for a
everybody.
walk.
It's a great holiday. No one. I always have to laugh that because when we were in France, you know, they had their religious
Yeah,
holidays, and they were secular. They were all
yeah,
secular, but they had their religious
yeah.
holidays, and they had that day off.
Yep,
You
yep.
better believe it.
Yeah, we
Oh
don't.
yeah. No, no. I overheard the conversation because here in the south of Germany, they then wish you a happy holiday when you are in the shop and you're buying your groceries. And this woman
Hmm.
was wishing somebody from the north of Germany a happy holiday. And he was sort of, yeah, of course, I am on holiday. No, no, tomorrow is a holiday. And he was going like, a church one? Yes, a church one. And it had to be explained to him because in the north of Germany, they are Protestant and they don't do this.
Oh,
That's
And
oh.
it was
that's right.
so funny. He was sort of, what? Yeah, I am on holiday. No, no, tomorrow is a holiday.
Here, let's see. We
Yes.
got a couple from Nerdy. I forgot to show the other one the other day. Let me see if I can. This is one. Whoops.
Oh, cute. I like. Oop.
Yeah. I didn't mean to show all the emails though. I got it. I got my act together now. So that's cute.
Ooh, oh, that's
Oh
cute.
yeah.
I love
I
the
like that.
colors. Yeah.
Yeah, she sent that a
Very
couple
nice.
days ago. I forgot to put it up. So yeah, that's like the colors. And don't ever tell me
Mm,
Ada cloth is not legit.
no. Oh, no, it
Yeah.
works. It
Yeah.
Right.
absolutely does.
Don't ever.
It's a
Don't
perfect little summer piece.
Yeah.
Mm,
And then she just sent
yeah.
this one. So that's nice.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
what color? What thread is that? Nerdy.
Oh, really. Very nice color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freebie from the World in Stitches.
Hmm.
Not the sampler. It's got to be the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the other one.
Yeah. So okay, well, yeah, we'd like to know what color that thread is, Nerdy.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. I think Beth and I talked about this, or I forget where we talked about it. I forget where so many things get talked about, so many
Yes.
shows. But grandson Cooper wants to learn how to stitch. And where did we talk about this, Beth?
On the Wednesday show.
It's on the Wednesday show. Okay. Jeez.
I'm here for you.
Anyway, so I was looking. He loves the Minecraft game. And so I thought, all right, I'm going to see if I can find a Minecraft design that I actually could use without violating 18 copyrights. So I
Yeah.
did a search, Minecraft cross stitch patterns, whatever. I can't just about all of them, Pinterest and clearly illegal. It's just
Ah.
that Pinterest is nothing but a cesspool. But yeah, so it was.
Yes.
So then now it becomes a difficult thing. I got to go do some searching elsewhere. But yeah, it was just like 8 out of 10 of them were Pinterest, and the other 2 were just lame and not.
Yeah. No.
Uh,
No.
yeah.
No.
Elizabeth Garrett, 1790. Yeah. Okay, that sampler from Sassy Jacks. Soie d'Alger 45 945. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but Nerdy, I gotta have one that I can legitimately own, and that's what I was
Mhm.
not finding. Yeah, I found lots of Minecraft cross stitch patterns. I found a ton of them, but I didn't feel with any of them that I could legitimately own them.
Mm.
That like they were
Yeah.
stolen from somewhere or
Yeah.
unauthorized. Because
Yeah.
that's like Disney characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, people selling those. There's no way. No way.
no
Because
Disney.
no.
Disney's very proprietary over their.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, you see a pattern, a Disney character pattern. It's not legit. It's not authorized. Guaranteed.
yeah,
No.
I think maybe Dimensions has some,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
someone, one of the bigger places that has got a licensing with
Yeah.
them,
Right.
but not not Etsy. Sorry.
Mm-mm.
No.
No,
No.
and Dimensions would have it plastered all over that this is an
Right.
authorized
Right.
use of the character. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Disney
Mm-hmm.
doesn't just pass those out to anybody who comes along. No.
No. No.
No.
No. Absolutely not. Yeah, I told the
I
story about the man who made a guitar out of I don't know if I can't remember what the actual material was, but it was the Millennium Falcon, and he made a guitar that looked like it,
Oh.
and he posted it on Facebook.
Mm-mm.
Immediately, they said,
Yep.
"Take that down, take it down." I mean, because he was like, people were like, "I want to buy it," and he was like, "It's not for sale. I just want to show people."
Doesn't
And he's like,
matter.
they're like, and
No.
Disney got a hold of him and said, "You take that down now." And it was like,
Yep.
"Oh, yeah." So it was in their
Yeah.
shop. It was really cool looking, but yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And they've got the lawyers to back it up. And
Oh yeah, you don't want to
Yes.
fight
yeah,
them.
no,
No.
and you
No.
won't win anyway. I mean, you
Mm-mm.
just
No.
you just like yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. They don't
So
No.
mess around. Yeah,
right.
I bet
So
that looked cool though.
it was very cool.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, no, any of those
Yeah. That.
things, you just can't use them.
No.
Yeah,
No. It's the same here with anything that is King Ludwig II, the fairy tale king, and Neuschwanstein, the castle
Okay.
that's actually used by Walt Disney for its logo.
Oh, uh-huh.
Um, we can't do anything with that. I once made or I started to make a pattern for normal surface embroidery and stump work, and I was politely reminded of the fact that you cannot do that.
Wow.
It's still of the Wittelsbach family, and they are, yeah, they do the same thing as Walt Disney. They sue you.
And they
Yeah.
can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that politely reminded. Yeah, yeah, I'll bet you were.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do it.
Uh,
Don't do
no,
it.
no, just don't do it. No, it's ours.
And legitimately so, understand.
Yeah. 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 And paying the license to actually use it
Oh,
from
yeah,
them.
Oh,
yeah,
Oh
oh
no.
no.
As a small embroidery
yeah.
person, no way.
No, absolutely not.
No.
No, you'd never see the profit side of that one. Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah.
You're not really supporting poor people with it either.
No, no, no. No, you're not.
No. No.
They don't need your money.
No.
So I will look and nerdy search Etsy. Um, yeah, I'll look, but
Mm.
sometimes I
The
think
other, I wonder,
Etsy's just as bad as Pinterest sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, what you could do um, is use, because you're only using it for yourself, you should be able to draw something yourself or use an image and convert it into cross stitch
Hmm.
very simply. That should be okay because you're not going to display it anywhere.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, I'm not. It's not getting
Mm.
shown anywhere other than he might
No.
take it to
Right,
school, but yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right, right.
And it's all that stuff is highly pixelated block designs, so yeah, it'd be real easy to
Yeah.
chart one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't be hard at all.
but I'm sure not giving
No.
anybody
No.
any money for it. Nope. Hmm. Go, Krista. By golly.
What? Oh,
That's
look.
a nice look.
That's beautiful. I think that's one of the most beautiful patterns that she has.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's gonna be a
Yeah.
nice look. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's almost as if she has a clue.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it's clearly onto something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so do you have a place that you're gonna display that, Gary? Excuse me, wait, let me rephrase that. Does Marga have a place that she wants that?
Oh yeah, she'll use it immediately on the dining room table. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. All right. Yeah.
because she has various um, things that go well. That that lady we interviewed, Ohio Baskets.
Oh yes.
Yeah, because
I
I
don't
bought
hate for
when
me.
I got you guys those baskets. I bought one
Mm-hmm.
of those really long, narrow ones, and so she
Mm-hmm.
has that all filled with fake flowers that she changes out seasonally, and then she has candles in it, and
Yes.
then that sits
Oh.
on the because it's what
Ooh,
good
it's
3 foot
long.
long. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then she has different things that go underneath it. So this will be perfect for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a secretary that a friend gave me, and it's a small secretary, but it's got a real narrow top on it. And I keep looking. I look at that. It's right across from where we're recording, and I look and I think, oh, wouldn't a long, narrow Avlia. So
Yeah.
that's why I was so excited about her pattern book, because it's like, okay, I can measure this, I can figure out exactly what I need and stitch out
Yeah.
just something just to lay there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. And yes, folks, I think that's where I'm headed is to design my own. Uh, what's it called?
Minecraft.
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 Do my own Minecraft design. Just pick up a thing and convert it, and yeah, it's not going
Yeah.
anywhere. Um,
No.
I
No.
was just trying to take the lazy way out, but the lazy way out was not going to be.
Yeah. No. No. And it still amazes me how many people put things out there that are not theirs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and then people who are willing to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
If you use something, I can understand that you don't understand what the law is. One time,
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
understand that to a point, but then
Yeah.
to sell it,
Yeah.
at some point, the little light has to go on in your head that says, "Wait a minute, this I didn't create this. Um,
Yeah.
should I be using it?" Because
Mm-hmm.
if you created something and you saw it somewhere else and people were making money off of it, you'd be mad as a hornet. And
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah.
I start. Yeah, really, you think that's okay? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Well, there's a holy smokes. Yeah, we need to wrap up here. Um, there's a beautiful stained glass wall of a window at our church that would
Ooh.
make a great counted cross stitch, or not cross stitch, counted canvas needlepoint. It would be beautiful, and I have several pictures of it because I was going to actually chart it out. But then I think, all right, if I chart it out and do it for myself, yeah, I can do that.
Mm.
But if people like it and I say, all right, maybe I want to sell it somewhere down the road, then do I have to get permission from the guy who created the stained glass? And yes, I do. Right.
Yeah.
So then
Yes.
do I want to go through all that hassle? Nah, I don't know. you know?
Yeah,
Yes, you should.
you could, yeah, or you could ask beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ask him. And I'll tell you why. I asked the guy who created these mugs. I sent him a note. There's
Oh.
an image my family loves of this octopus. I think he's knocking on a mirror. It's hilarious. It's
Okay.
hilarious. And so I contacted him and I said, "Do you mind if I blow this up and stitch it? I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to do anything with it. But I want to know if you mind. Because I don't obviously want to steal your design. I will be
Yeah.
posting it
Yeah.
on the internet, and when I do, I will tag you and put you back in." He was like, "No, that's great." And so I kept that note of
Uh-huh.
his in my email so I can
Mm.
find it again. And I stitched it once and I didn't like how it came out, so I'm going to redo it because it is hilarious. It is. I mean, his work is so funny, and it's just a line drawing, so it's perfect for doing an
Brilliant.
outline of embroidery on. And
Uh-huh.
but he was very kind. He said, "Oh, sure,
Huh.
that's fine. Do what you want."
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and he's very popular. It's Don Moyer, Calamity Wear, for those who are
Okay.
interested. And
Okay.
and I really think if he found someone to market his stuff, he could sell it. If he could get someone to print it on something to do embroidery or someone to cry, it's because it's so
Oh
funny.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
snarkily sarcastic. I mean, he's hilarious. He really is. Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely contact him because it'd be worth it. I
Yeah.
mean, the family might be very thrilled that you want to take something and interpret it into a different medium.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All
And
right.
you
because
should.
it's so far out of the original medium,
Oh yeah.
um,
Yeah.
he wasn't probably never thinking of making cross stitch or needlepoint kits
Right.
anyway.
Right. Oh, I'm
Hmm.
sure not. Yeah. Yeah.
Nah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Because I'm sure the name is on a plaque or some kind of a little thing down in the corner or something. It's
Someone
just
knows it.
really, it's just really cool because it's a neat design. It would be easily converted and stitched, but it also lends itself to some crystals. There's
Ah,
places where crystals, when you look at it,
Mm-hmm.
you can just see how it could be stitched. You start to see the
yeah.
stitches, and then all right, then a great big old fat crystal's going right here, and one's going over here, and yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
cool. Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
I'll take that
In
as
your
encouragement.
in your spare
That's
time, Gary.
Yeah,
yep.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That.
yeah. Sleep is overrated.
Yes.
Yeah, what was it? Last night at
Sleep is overrated.
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
10 o'clock. Yeah, 10 o'clock last night. I finally had to shut down. I couldn't see straight anymore. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yep. That's the way it goes. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, I better go.
Yep.
I've got
Me too.
other things. I'm not at a
Yeah.
good stopping spot, but we'll just leave it for later. It'll be here tomorrow.
I got
Oops.
magazine stuff. So we'll be back tomorrow, folks. Same time, racing or not. We'll
Yeah.
come back tomorrow. What's for dinner, Jessica?
I don't know. Husband is preparing, so I have
Oh,
no
okay.
idea.
Ooh,
Ooh, nice. That's my
mystery.
favorite kind of dinner. Husband
Too.
preparing dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
It's my favorite. Although
All
that
right.
generally means we are eating out. Bye.
Yeah, yeah, that. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.